Well, the international automotive industry is very much a part of our future because the technologies that are going into the development of automotive IT are going to affect us really throughout the world. And if we think about the Internet of Things, which is this idea that devices are going to be used to help us make decisions for the future, we see that the automotive industry is going to be very much at the core principle of that, creating new amounts of data, but also forcing us to ask new questions. And I think that's really the most important part is what are the new questions that will be asked with the information that comes from automotive IT. Well, for us, we see that every time a new car goes on the road, it's a new amount of data that's being amassed, right? And so as that data becomes amassed, we're also interested in the questions that are going to be asked of that new data. So, for example, when I interact with my car now, what's interesting about it is that I'm interacting with the device, I'm interacting with the automobile, but I'm also affecting the design decisions that are going to be made to make that car better. So really, as opposed to just being a consumer, we're now going to be a contributor into the future about the way the automotive industry influences us. We're certainly going in the direction of more at this point. I'm not sure that we've turned the corner and really understood why we're collecting all the information that we are. And I think the next phase, the next generation is going to be about refining the information that we take from all those data points that are being put in the new vehicles. And for us in the future, the question is, how are we going to ask those questions? What are we going to do to create better solutions for the future? I'd say the biggest challenge is how do we deal with it all? I mean, we're asking an information network to accumulate exponential growth in terms of the amount of data that's both fed into that system, but also what we expect to come out of it. How are we going to sustainably go forward, collect that information, and create the kinds of outputs that allow our companies to grow? Because this is really a question about growth, about creating sustainable growth and new technologies that are really going to change the way we look at data tomorrow. First of all, the automotive industry will be one of the forefronts in the Internet of Things in driving the quality of data. It's going to be important from the time we receive that data to be able to pre-process it and understand what level of storage is needed and where that information is going to go to be able to create the next round of questions. It's that kind of smart infrastructure that's going to allow our industry to grow further. You say it's going to have wheels. I mean, maybe it's going to be levitating on some kind of a magnetic plane. So, hopefully it's going to be a lot more efficient. And that, I would say that the core of the car and the decisions that go into the design of the car are going to be all about efficiency. The data that we're collecting today is going to influence the way those cars are made tomorrow, and they're going to be able to be influenced to where only the things that we truly need in that driving experience are going to be placed into that car. So while I can't predict the style or the color, I can predict that it's going to know more about us than a car does today. Even the smartest cars of today, they're going to know more about us than we even maybe expect them to in time. And that, the core of that is all to do with efficiency.